Chapter 1: The Red Star. The autumn of 1066 began with an omen. A hairy star, what we now know as Halley's Comet, streaked across the English sky. To the common folk, it was a finger of fire. To Osric Thorne, a veteran Huscarl of King Harold's inner circle, it was a bruise on the heavens. "It bodes ill, Osric," muttered Leofric, a young feardman clutching a spear with trembling hands. "It bodes change," Osric replied, his voice like grinding stones. "But the soil of England doesn't care for stars. It only cares for the blood that waters it." They had just marched 300 miles in less than 2 weeks. They had crushed the Vikings at Stamford Bridge in the north, only to hear that William the Bastard, Duke of Normandy, had landed his fleet in the south. The Saxons were exhausted, their boots worn to the soles, but their king, Harold Godwinson, was a man possessed. He would not let his kingdom be carved up by a Norseman turned Frenchman. Chapter 2: The Hill of Senlac. October 14th dawned gray and cold. Osric stood atop Senlac Hill near Hastings. Below them, the Norman host looked like a sea of polished steel and colorful gonfalons. Unlike the Saxons, who fought on foot in a dense shield wall, the Normans brought something the English feared: cavalry. Thousands of destriers whinnied in the valley, their riders draped in chainmail hauberks. "Lock shields," the command rang out. Osric stepped into the front rank. He overlapped his linden wood shield with the man to his left and right. It was a wall of oak and iron, 6 men deep. Behind them, the fyrd, the peasant farmers, held their spears high. At the center stood the golden dragon standard of Wessex and the king's personal banner, the Fighting Man. Chapter 3: The First Clash. The air was suddenly filled with a sound like 1,000 angry wasps. The Norman archers had opened fire. "Shields up!" Osric roared. The arrows thudded into the wood of his shield, some piercing through but stopping inches from his face. Then came the infantry. The Normans charged up the slope, their breath ragged. Because they were fighting uphill, their momentum died before they reached the Saxon line. When they hit the shield wall, it was like waves breaking against a cliff. Osric saw a Norman face through a helmet slit, eyes wide with terror. Osric swung his Great Dane axe. The heavy steel blade, swung with the strength of a lifetime of labor, sheared through the Norman's shield and shoulder as if they were parchment. "Out! Out! Out!" the Saxons chanted, a rhythmic roar that echoed across the hillside. Chapter 4: The Fatal Mistake. For hours, the wall held. The Normans broke and retreated, broke and retreated. At one point, a rumor spread through the Norman ranks. "The Duke is dead!" The Norman left wing crumbled and fled. Seeing an opportunity for glory, the untrained Saxon peasants on the flanks broke the shield wall. They chased the Normans down into the valley, screaming in triumph. "Get back! Stay in the line!" Osric screamed, but his voice was lost in the chaos. William the Conqueror was not dead. He tore off his helmet to show his face and rallied his knights. As the Saxons ran disorganized into the flat ground, the Norman cavalry wheeled around. It was a slaughter. The unarmored farmers were cut down like wheat. The shield wall was now thinned. The invincible circle had been broken. Chapter 5: The Arrow and the Axe. As the sun began to dip, the Normans changed tactics. William ordered his archers to fire high into the air so the arrows would fall vertically behind the shields. Osric was parrying a sword thrust when he heard a sickening cry from the center. He looked back. King Harold was clutching his face. A feathered shaft had pierced his eye. The heart of the Saxon army stopped beating. A king's death in the Middle Ages was the death of the cause. A group of Norman knights, seeing the king stumble, burst through the line. Osric threw himself in front of the fallen king. He swung his axe, shattering a knight's stirrup and bringing man and horse down. But there were too many. A lance pierced Osric's side. He fell to one knee, using his axe handle to stay upright. He watched, blurred vision fading, as the Norman blades finished their work on Harold. The fighting man banner was torn down and trampled into the mud. Epilogue: The New Dawn. Osric did not die on the hill, though he wished he had. He woke in the darkness, the sounds of crows feasting on the 20,000 dead. The England he knew was gone. The language would change, the lords would change, and the great stone castles of the Normans would soon rise to dominate the landscape. The Anglo-Saxon era had ended in a single afternoon. Osric limped away into the forests of Sussex, a ghost of a fallen kingdom, carrying nothing but the memory of the day the shield wall broke.